Type in satellites on balloons. I'm telling you,
They're not all on balloons.
They're not all on balloons, but there's satellites that were on balloons.
Yeah, it was called Project Loon.
I'm just saying. So
Google,
they say
Google
there's
launched
satellites.
a bunch of balloons carrying internet nodes.
Exactly.
So they could float over the earth.
Well,
the
that's not a
military-
conspiracy.
the military
I'm just saying,
also
they
has
use
them.
balloons, and NASA is the user.
So Elon's actually just launching balloons, but putting on
You
a
can
show.
type it.
No,
you
no,
can
I
type in
don't
NASA. They do balloon launches. Literally,
I know.
type in,
Yeah, they
right,
can do that if it's low Earth orbit. But if you have a weather satellite that's out there at 22,200 miles, you're not going to get a balloon out there.
See, I totally disavow those distance claims, and because the way that they do it, they take the signal and that's cool. So what equation do you use to determine the distance?
Parallax. You just use simple trigonometry. It's basic trigonometry.
Really? So what's the length of your baseline?
Well, let's see. For space station, it was 760 meters.
760-meter baseline to determine the distance to the space station.
Yep.
Okay. And so you're saying it's impossible for the ISS to move over a plane?
What does that have to do with me measuring the distance? You can assume it's a plane. You can assume it's a globe.
Well, earlier you said trilateration was impossible.
Trilateration is about you finding your location. I'm
Right.
talking about measuring the altitude of the
Which
space
you
station.
need your location. So that you need your location.
I just know the baseline.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you need your location. That's the prerequisite. So the point I was making is I don't believe when he claims something's 22,000 miles away. I don't believe that. But he can. I don't.
The moon
right?
is to 240,000 miles away.
Yeah, see, I definitely don't believe that. And but this is the thing. The way that they get the distances, they actually use, of course, the equation for speed, and they assume the medium, the propagation rate of light, and they get how long it takes the duration of signal to get there, right? And then they plug it into the assumption of the speed of light relative to the vacuum, and then they're going to supposedly get their distance. I disavow those assumptions. I don't think that's true.
Well, you guys are all wrong. The Earth is clearly hollow and flat. It's a donut.
Vice is stupid. You know that.
We're in a donut magnetic field. I want to answer the firmament thing, though, the idea of putting them inside the firmament. All the early church fathers even, but like many people throughout all of like biblical history, they said that there were layers to a container. A physical container had layers, and the sun, moon, and stars are inside those layers of the firmament. And in fact, that they're specific to layers, meaning like the sun and moon and the stars are in a separate layer. So that would be how that's explained.
It's not explaining it.
Why not?
Because the Hebrew word is beirakia, which does not mean in or inside, like you're trying to say. You're trying to say that somehow you have the dome, and then there's the inside underneath the dome.
There are layers inside of it.
Yeah. Okay. That's
Multiple
what you're
domes.
trying to say. But that's not what the Hebrew says. The Hebrew says it's in the firmament.
Yeah.
Okay. So if the definition of firmament is solid, how are the celestial bodies going to be in the firmament? Not underneath, because there's a lot of ways in Hebrew to say underneath the firmament.
Well, they're within the solid firmament.
And
I think
wait a second. And there's a lot of ways to say that the celestial bodies are over the firmament.
Well, they're not above or
in
below
Hebrew.
because there's layers. They're within it.
the easiest way to
Yeah,
understand.
but you can't have that if the firmament's solid. That's what I'm trying to say.
But ice and water can go from solid, so maybe it could change.
No,
Well,
there's
solid is a
layers
solid.
to
It's
it.
not water.
I think the easiest way to understand the firmament is for anybody who's ever played World of Warcraft, and you try and go too far south, and your character just keeps walking into what's an
There you
invisible
go.
wall. Thanks for watching this clip from the Culture War podcast. We're live every Friday, 10 a.m. to noon, so subscribe and come hang out.